guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I'm excited to bring you my March favorites of the month. It actually turns out that I don't have a ton of different items, but that was because I was really trying to be very specific because everything I use this month cannot be a favorite, and I don't typically wind up using the same things kind of every day. So this is like the favorite of the favorite. And so if you're interested in seeing my March favorites, then just keep watching. Now, I said that I don't have a lot of favorites for this month, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a theme and that I don't have some organization. So first of all, let me just declare that this is the month of combination. There are a ton of products that I've been using in combination with each other simply because there really is no one perfect product, at least I don't think so, but that's because I set very high standards for things and I'm just creating my own drama. So that being said, I find it necessary to use a combination of products to bring me absolute and complete joy. So, whatever works. The first thing I'm going to say though in relation to combination things is that I am officially declaring as of now that I have combination skin. I think when I started my channel kind of a year and a half ago, I was very frequently talking about how I had oily skin, and I do still have like oily areas, but as of right now, I also have dry areas. And so I am officially a member of Team Combo or Team Combination Skin. And I really think that that's going to impact the way and the types of products that I talk about. So I've mentioned before in some favorites, and I think I used it in either a Get Ready With Me or tutorial, what I've been loving for my foundation recently is this kind of unique combination brush from Sephora. It's called the Pro Core Diffuser number 94. It's the Dome Diffuser. Denser in the center, fluffier around the outer edges, does a really nice makeup application. That being said, it's pretty fluffy and it's pretty large, which works really nicely all over my skin, except in those kind of finer areas. So when I use this brush to apply my foundation, I'm also using in combination with it an actual kind of pointed foundation brush. This one in particular happens to be by Morphe. It's the E12. But the Real Techniques brand has a great kind of foundation brush. Sometimes the foundation brushes are even flat. It really doesn't matter. My point is to say that I've been using two brushes to kind of apply my foundation, and I feel like it's getting the job done. So I use this kind of all over my face, and then I'll take this kind of pointy one and I'll use it all around like my nose, between my eyebrows, so I don't wind up getting foundation all over my eyebrows. Sometimes kind of around my mouth just a little bit. I'll kind of get it up into the outer corners of my eye, wherever I have to put foundation that I don't want going anywhere. And so, like I said, I've been loving this one by Morphe, but really any kind of dense, pointed, sort of larger but not too large foundation brush would work very nicely for that. Totally randomly, but since it's a brush, I figured I would talk about it. This has been out for a little while. I bought it and then kind of never really used it. This is by e.l.f. This is the blending brush, which is ironic because it's like fluffy and narrow and skinny. I've been using this to do my contour. I don't heavily contour. I kind of never really did. And I've used a variety of kind of smaller brushes like the NARS Ita brush. There's also an awesome Makeup Geek brush. I did a video on using that brush as my contour. I will definitely link that. But that being said, I've really been enjoying just how precise but fluffy this brush can be. It just winds up, it's a nice flicker brush. I like being able to flick. And this brush was only $6. It's incredibly soft. Doesn't leave any fibers behind, which is super annoying and is what you'll find sometimes with kind of less expensive brushes. You do not find that with this e.l.f. brush. And I've been really loving it. And it took me a long time to kind of use it, even though I bought it when it first came out. Go figure. Another product by e.l.f. This is it's a little plastic container. This is what they sell their oil blotting sheets in. One, I love that it's a plastic container because when you buy the other ones like by Clean and Clear or like Up and Up, for example, they just come in like cardboard, and that winds up looking gross as it sits in your makeup bag, because I definitely travel with these because even though I have combination skin, I still have oily areas, obviously, like on the sides of my nose and on my forehead, etc. So I love that it's in a plastic case. What I also love is the cutie little, there's a little pillow in there. There's a little pillow that you can slide your fingers behind, much easier if you weren't trying to do it on camera. So your fingers slide into this little ribbon. It's a very pretty little ribbon. And it's got a sticky pad on the other side that will pick up the oil blotting sheet. And that's just so great because you're literally like not touching your face. You're able to use this little pad, and it picks up the oil, which is kind of gross. But I don't know. It's just so convenient and so travel friendly. I think Emily Noel 83 is the one who mentioned this as a really good product by e.l.f. And I think I bought it because she said so. I will link her channel down below. Definitely check her out. She's amazing. Now, that being said, these are not the actual, these little blue sheets are not the ones that come with the e.l.f. case. Oh, by the way, there's a mirror too, which is super awesome as well. But these do not come with it. These are actually the brand Up and Up, which is also kind of a dupe for the Clean and Clear oil blotting sheets. I only like the blue ones. They have other ones that kind of look like, I think they call them rice paper, but they look like tissue paper. Those don't work for me. I must always use the blue ones. And so I just put them inside the little container. They don't fit, so you have to roll them over the edge on the side. So don't be surprised when you're like, hey, these are not the same size. But you will survive, and it will close very nicely and be very, very travel friendly. So something else that I've been using in combination, I have a new way to do my mascara. So I've always mentioned how I loved, I'm always doing like a two-step process when it comes to doing my mascara. And I would go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic. This is actually not the carbon black. This is just the blackest black. I don't know what the difference is, except that the containers are black versus gold. They're both very black, and I'm okay with that. And then I would go in with the Dior Show Blackout Volumizer. Well, I decided to try to switch things up because I was like, if there is anything that I continue doing all the same time, it's the way I was doing my mascara. And so instead, I switched it up, and I'm really intrigued. So I've been using by IT Cosmetics, the Superhero Mascara, which really is amazingly awesome. And it is my like top 3 mascaras. And so I go in with this first, and I volumize, and I get incredible volume and some amount of length, of course. And then I go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic just on the ends of my lashes to add just a little bit more length. You don't need to go into the root of your lashes because there's already like major volume there from the Superhero Mascara. But this just gives me like that oomph of second. It's like a second kick of lengthening, and it doesn't wind up making a mess, winds up being very nice and neat. There's no clumping because you're kind of really not doing 2 coats, of 2 different mascaras. You're really just more going in on the edges and the tips of your lashes, and I have been loving both of these. Okay, a couple other combinations that I've been using this past month and have made it to my favorites list. So I've talked at length before about the Hourglass Seamless Finish foundation stick. I love this foundation stick. It's so creamy. It glides on so nicely. And it works really well in the areas of my skin where I'm a little bit dry or not quite as oily. But when it came to my oily spots, I was like, I'm like, you're not quite staying in place no matter what I was doing to kind of keep it there. Well, I recently discovered that the foundation stick by Anastasia was meant for oily skin. Now, I had never heard of a foundation stick being meant for oily skin. They were all meant to be dewy looking, which does not work with oily skin or oily patches at all. And so when I was talking with the brand rep from Anastasia, she was telling me that this was created. It's not a mattifying foundation stick, so it doesn't actually, let's say, mattify you, but it is a matte finish, which is awesome. And so what I do is I'm using both of these because I love the convenience of using a foundation stick. Your foundation just goes on so fast. I do not, by the way, use that Sephora brush. You need to use a little bit of a denser brush in order to spread the product around. But that being said, I love using both of these at the same time, strategically, where they belong. So, like the Hourglass one, I will use kind of around my cheeks, along my chin. I'll bring it down my neck a little bit, and I'll use it kind of in the outer areas of my forehead. I use the Anastasia foundation stick on my nose, right next to my nose, between my eyebrows and kind of the T-zone area, and a little bit on my chin as well. And it just winds up being the perfect marriage and combination of foundations with function and purpose, exactly where I need them to go. I don't know why. I mean, we always combine foundation, you know, to like get our shade, but typically that's using the same brand of foundation. And so I don't know, tell me, is this like an old idea and like I should have known about this a long time ago? But I've never kind of thought outside the box to use two different styles of foundation in order to achieve what my skin needs. Because honestly, my skin does not fit inside a box and does not fit inside one category. And that was really frustrating. And it was the reason why I would sometimes not use the Hourglass foundation if I was having just kind of, you know, trouble skin for whatever reason at that time. But now I can kind of do it because I can be very strategic about where I put different foundations. And I'm so excited about it. I want to burst out into song. Another product that I want to talk about is actually by Stila. This is the Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. This is a liquid eyeshadow. They have about 6 different shades. I picked the shade in Kitten Karma, which is kind of like a rosy gold sort of shade. This is phenomenal. Oh my God, the level of glitter. Oh my God, it is so pretty. So pretty. So this is a little bit more of your going out on the town sort of eyeshadow, but it blends very nicely. I love that it's a super glitter shadow, but because it's liquid, it doesn't wind up giving you fallout like all over your eyes. And so it just winds up being a gorgeous liquid shadow, and I was really impressed with it, and I've been playing around with it, and I need to tell my husband to take me somewhere so that I can use that liquid eyeshadow. Finally, I've got a couple of lip products, and then I've got a random for you. I am forever a fan of the Fresh sugar lip balms that they have, and now they've got like, I don't know, it must be like a dozen different shades. I've always had the original one because I would usually use it like before bed and I didn't want to get any color or anything on my pillowcases. But I did pick up the nude shade, and I think, I didn't know the nude. First of all, I love the smell. It's just so yummy. You have to be careful in the summertime though, let me tell you, because my husband didn't have his own chapstick on hand, and so he asked to borrow this, and I guess it had started to warm up a little bit, so he's like a behemoth and took the lip balm and went to put it on and completely mushed the whole stick. The whole stick like became like a bloob. I was like, honey, you have to be a little bit easier with that. And he's like, I don't understand what happened. I didn't do it. I'm like, yes, you did. Clearly you did. Anyway, so I got the nude shade, which is just really pretty. It has a very slight color to it, a very slight nude color to it. It's also interesting because it has a slight hint of shimmer in it. And I like that, especially as we're approaching summer and we're into spring right now. I don't know. It's different for me. It's not the normal clear. I have mentioned before that I am loving by Charlotte Tilbury. Her lip liners, I've got Iconic Nude, and this is Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk was the original one I got. It's kind of like a cult favorite now. Everybody and their mother has one. So this is my latest combination. Well, first of all, let me say, I've also been loving, I picked up finally a Dose of Colors liquid lipstick. This one's called Stone by Dose of Colors, and I have to tell you, I am loving the liquid lipstick in and of itself, but I'm also loving this particular shade. It's kind of that like mauve-y purple tone. But this is probably to date one of my most comfortable liquid lipsticks. It applies very smoothly. It isn't patchy, and it wears well, and it feels, you know, decent. I mean, I'm not going to say like it doesn't dry my lips out at all, because it does, but it's a liquid lipstick, so I kind of go in expecting that. So what's also really great is I find with some of the liquid lipsticks, I can't wear a liner. And when you're using the doe foot applicator to create your outer lip line because you're not using a liner, sometimes that gets a little bit tricky too. I have been able to use the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, in this case, the one in Pillow Talk, with the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in Sand. And it is actually the combination that I'm wearing today. And it's the combination I think I've worn in some of my last couple of videos. And some of you guys have been asking me about what I was wearing on my lips. They wear together so nicely, and the intensity of the liquid lipstick is dark enough that it covers and blends really well with the color of the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, and it has just been phenomenal for me. Like, I have actually eliminated some other lipsticks in my travel makeup bag because I've been reaching for those so much. The last product that I want to talk about is random. I've talked before about how I love the thermos water bottles because they have a top and they're very self-contained. Well, it turns out that I also love their coffee mug as well. So I travel a lot and I love being able to throw this into my bag. Like, it doesn't have to stand up. Like, it completely seals and you don't have to worry about it contaminating anything else in your bag. I mean, ideally I stand it up, but if it falls over, it's no problem. So it's got a little lock release. Bink. So it's a little jingly kind of just little piece of silver that will lock the top down. And then I got to do this over here. Then it's got a little lock release button. Now, be careful, because if you're talking to somebody and you're standing there like this and you're like, oh, hey, yeah, it's so great to see you, and you go like this, it'll flick a drop of coffee on them. I don't know why. That's probably the only con or the only drawback about this entire coffee mug. What I love about it, even more so, aside from the locking and the no spilling factor, you know, where you drink is covered by the top. So when your lipstick goes on the mouth of the, you know, on the ring where you're drinking from, it gets covered up. I hate seeing my own, not only my own, but other people's as well, lipstick like around their coffee container where they've been drinking. So this right here winds up covering it. This is the lip where you drink, and the top goes right over top, and so you don't wind up seeing it. But also, when you put it in your bag, the lipstick that has left your lips and has now gone on the coffee container does not go all over your bag, and that makes that phenomenal. The final thing that I love about this is this thing keeps your coffee major hot. I'm the type of person, I am a coffee snob. If you haven't brewed that coffee within the last 10 minutes and it's not like boiling hot, then I'm not a fan. This thing, you can go like 24 hours and you will still get very warm coffee by the next morning. I mean, it keeps your coffee that long, that hot. I've tried the ones by Contigo. Contigo's like 5 or 7 hours. And I need my coffee to stay hot if I'm not able to drink it because my life goes crazy in the earlier hours of the day. I need hot coffee 24/7. Oh, I have one more item. I think I showed this in a vlog. This is by Tarte. This is the Tartist Pro Custom Magnetic Palette that you can get on Sephora. So first of all, I feel like Z palette is like now the generic term, even though that's their brand. So basically it's a non-Z palette. It's like a Y palette. I don't know. It's a T palette because it's by Tarte. So it holds all my stuff. Isn't that great? And it's bigger, which I love. But also I'm going to show you really quick. There's a mirror. Did you see how big? The mirror is this big. So for travel, this is phenomenal. I used to carry a separate kind of larger travel mirror because I can't do my makeup in something that's like the size of my eye and my nose. Like, it has to be much bigger than that. So this is awesome. You can kind of set this up on a desk or on a bathroom vanity if you're traveling, and you will have a fabulous full-size mirror. And also all of your favorite pans, blushes, shadows, and whatever the case may be, all with you. Plus, it is smoking hot to look at with this little kind of cheetah leopard sort of print. I love it. It's texturized, so it isn't smooth, easy to hold on to. It's pretty comparable in price, although they could probably charge much more based on how unique and cool it is. I think it's about $17. And so love, love, love. I have another one, and I don't know. Now I use my Z palettes just for storage. I know you can't see what's in it, but this is what my daily stuff is. And so if you guys are interested in finding out what I find super important to put in my Z palette, my non-Z palette, my T palette, let let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. What products have you been loving this past month? Please definitely leave me a comment down below. If you like this video and enjoy hanging out with me, then please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already one of my subscribers, then I invite you to be. I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Enjoy spring because it's coming. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, thanks.
That being said, now that I was kind of running around this past week, not this past week, we were talking about the monthly favorites, not the weekly favorites. And I'm like, my day sometimes runs time. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I have some March favorites March favorites. That was dumb. Well, also